We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some huge news regarding The Fiend Bray Wyatt. Even though The Fiend Bray Wyatt has seemingly been released from WWE for almost 5 months now, there are still so many rumors and reports going around that Bray Wyatt may not even be done with WWE yet. And the fact that Bray Wyatt has yet to sign with AEW All Elite Wrestling once his supposed non-compete clause with WWE ran up has further added to the rumors that WWE may be hiding a huge secret when it comes to Bray Wyatt. Not to mention that Bray's release was a lot more bizarre compared to all the other 80-odd talent released from WWE this year, because like we've mentioned many times before, on the official release statement put out by WWE, the company referred to Bray as his kayfabe ring name Bray Wyatt, and not his actual name Wyndham Rotunda, which was truly very weird and did seem fishy at the time for many fans, and lots felt like this gave WWE an easy way to get Bray Wyatt off of television for the foreseeable future and make it seem like Bray was released only for Wyatt to eventually return and come back to the company in the future. Or even in the scenario if Bray Wyatt was actually released from his contract, it was well known behind the scenes between Vince McMahon and Bray Wyatt that when Wyatt wanted to return, he would be brought back with open arms, and that simply releasing Bray Wyatt for a number of months was a cost-saving tactic on WWE's part, because by all means The Fiend Bray Wyatt was undoubtedly one of the highest paid WWE superstars, especially with his top-selling merchandise. So if that's true, WWE did save some money while Bray Wyatt was needing to be away from television. Now what's even added more fuel to the rumors that Bray Wyatt is still in WWE right now or coming back soon is the fact that WWE have recently released some new merchandise for The Fiend Bray Wyatt on WWEshop.com, with the company putting out a new Fiend Bray Wyatt Holiday Pop vinyl figure. Now, some fans believe that the reason why WWE could have released this figure even though Bray supposedly gone from the company is because WWE hold the trademarks to the Fiend Bray Wyatt name and character, but with Bray's release being so weird and nonsensical to begin with, there's actually a very good chance that Bray Wyatt will be returning and coming back to WWE television in the not so distant future. And according to one of our sources, there is reportedly a better chance that Bray Wyatt comes back to WWE over Bray deciding to join and sign with AEW. A new backstage report has leaked that at the time of Bray Wyatt's alleged release from WWE, Bray Wyatt had been dealing with some personal issues that he needed to sort out and wanted an extended break from wrestling. And on top of that, Bray Wyatt also wanted to work on a movie, which is something that was just recently revealed as something Bray's working on right now. And the report basically makes it clear that considering Bray Wyatt was not in the headspace to come back to WWE soon after WrestleMania 37 and also wanted to work on a movie away from WWE, Vince McMahon decided to temporarily grant Bray Wyatt's release from the company, especially considering creative at the time really did not have anything too significant planned for Bray following WrestleMania. So the theory is that everything sort of lined up for Bray Wyatt to temporarily leave WWE, but would eventually return to the company after having a bit of a break and finishing up his horror movie project that he wanted to work on, that really could not have been done while Bray was still under contract with the WWE. In all honesty, it would not be that shocking in the slightest if The Fiend Bray Wyatt is brought back to WWE soon, or that he was never even released in the first place, because it is likely a very similar situation to Samoa Joe, who had been fired from WWE but brought back to the company soon after, so not all WWE releases are permanent. And when you're as big of a star as The Fiend Bray Wyatt is and was, at the end of the day, Vince McMahon is a businessman, and while he may not like the fact that Bray is not as easy to manage behind the scenes because Wyatt wants that creative freedom and control, Bray's a huge star and McMahon knows Wyatt is valuable to the company's roster, especially considering the WWE don't have that many established top-level superstars on their active roster, and The Fiend Bray Wyatt was among the most popular stars on the roster, along with the likes of Roman Reigns. The bottom line is either Bray Wyatt was never actually released from WWE to begin with and is still in the company and will be returning soon, or he was let go but the WWE had plans to bring him back in the future. So regardless, the chances of Bray Wyatt returning to WWE television in the near future is actually very high, despite the rumors in the past of Bray Wyatt joining AEW, which have failed to materialize. We now have some huge news regarding the status of Kevin Owens in WWE, and despite the fact that there were recent reports that speculated Kevin Owens was going to be staying in WWE and re-signing with the company, given the fact that Kevin Owens was being advertised for WWE events well into the future in 2022, that sadly does not look to be the case anymore, and fans are reportedly witnessing the end of Kevin Owens in WWE going into the upcoming Day 1 pay-per-view event. While the Prizefighter has actually been getting pushed quite heavily on the Raw brand recently, with Kevin Owens being a part of the WWE Championship match at the Day 1 pay-per-view on January 1st, apparently Kevin Owens' last official appearance in WWE is going to be Day 1, with Owens then being removed from WWE television and officially quitting and leaving the company when his contract expires at the end of that month. A new backstage rumor has revealed that Kevin Owens has refused to sign a new contract with WWE and has made his intentions clear to WWE officials that he is going to be leaving once his obligations in the company are officially done following Day 1. And as of right now, Kevin Owens is being planned to be the superstar pinned in the WWE Championship match at the Day 1 pay-per-view, and then Owens will be written off of television and gone from WWE for good, with Kevin Owens choosing to try his luck in AEW once his non-compete clause with WWE is over. Now this is honestly quite shocking or surprising news, because it seemed like with Kevin Owens' recent push on Monday Night Raw and being involved in the WWE Championship picture, he was going to be choosing to re-sign with the company, but that's sadly not the case according to multiple sources, and Kevin Owens is likely done with WWE following his Day 1 match. We finish off today's wrestling news and rumors video with a big update regarding the current status of NXT superstar Johnny Gargano in WWE. Now, as many of you are likely well aware, over the past couple of months, rumors have went around that Johnny Gargano was not surprisingly planning to leave WWE once his contract expired. And if you didn't know, Gargano's current WWE contract is set to expire at the end of this month in late December 2021. According to one of our sources, Johnny Gargano is in fact planning to leave WWE at the end of this month, and has decided not to re-sign or renew his contract with WWE, which is definitely an understandable decision for Gargano to make, because with Vince McMahon completely changing up the NXT brand, Johnny Gargano's future in WWE was very limited, especially if Gargano was ever called up to the main roster on Raw or SmackDown, as there's no doubt he really would not have done anything too noteworthy once called up to the main roster, as he does not fit the mold for what Vince wants in a top superstar, unfortunately. A move to AEW for Johnny Gargano in the near future is a very likely scenario, although it is a bit unfortunate that Johnny is going to be walking away from WWE, because he is definitely a very talented wrestler, and with the right booking he could have been something special for WWE, but Vince simply does not see the value or potential in Johnny Gargano.